Hey everybody, welcome back. Welcome back to Generation X Nation. As the thumbnail said, I'm gonna do a real quick review on Belle Collective now. Belle Collective is getting juicy over there down there in the streets of Jackson, Mississippi. But before we do all that, first things first, as always, thank you to everybody who has subscribed to the channel, who has looked at a video, who has liked a video, who has left a comment. I appreciate it. It does not go unnoticed. Okay. Um, Again, I'm continuing to try to grow this channel. I've been working on it for a little while. So like, subscribe, leave a comment. Get me into these algorithms, people. I'm not asking for much. All right. I just want to get to my 500 subscribers and I got a little under 200 to go. But hey, if you like the channel, just, listen to 5, 10 minutes. I don't know. And just like and leave a comment. I'm not asking for much. Okay. We're going to talk about this Belle Collective. Again, this is everything on this channel is in my opinion and allegedly and for entertainment purposes only. Again, allegedly, in my opinion, and for entertainment purposes only. As always, my commentary is done week to week based on the episodes that air. We do understand that episodes are edited. And we do understand some things are left out. And I also understand these are people's real lives. But hey, they signed a contract to be on reality TV, so they just open the door for us to talk mess about them. And right now, we're going to talk a lot of mess about Glendale, but I'm going to get through the first part of the show, the preliminaries first, because it wasn't much happening in the beginning. It's the pool party that gave us all that we needed to hear this particular episode. Now, starting off, everybody's meeting up and having these different conversations. You see Marie and Latrice meet up. And again, just for a disclaimer here, Latrice and Letitia, their names are so close. Sometimes I get to talking fast and I'll say Latrice's name instead of Letitia name. You get it. Same thing going down there in Huntsville. They got Letitia, they got Latricia. I don't know, maybe people in the South during that particular time frame, that was a popular name, but everybody on the show got one of these people on the show, somebody with one of those names. But that's just a sidebar. Let's get it started. First off, Latrice, Maria, and Amanda are sitting there having a conversation. And I'm gonna say this about Marie. Marie seemed to be real happy now that her and Cedric's back together. I have never seen Marie so happy on the show. I mean, her whole attitude has changed because Marie always gave us a little standoffish personality, But right now, Marie seems very happy. So I guess her and Cedric are getting along just fine. And she may be, getting a little tune up on the side because Marie seems to be very, very happy right now. They're sitting there talking. And again, Latrice and Marie are having a conversation. Amanda walks in. And once again, Amanda tries to confront Marie about the conversation her, Latrice, and Letitia had at the reunion. She said, I didn't like what you said to my friend. Latrice, I'm sorry, Marie tried kind of blew it off, and she was just like, looking at her suit like, I know this ain't Beetlejuice coming at me. I fell out because that's what I thought of immediately when she said that. I got that image in my head of Beetlejuice and his wife. But I thought the outfit Amanda had on, it was kind of Beetlejuice. She hit it. I know she was going for a certain aesthetic. I see people wearing stuff like that, but it just didn't hit right, Amanda. Maybe it was inappropriate for that scene. I don't know. But hey, if you like it, who are we to say anything? Um, at that time, Latrice was inviting everybody to the pool party. She said couples only, but I did notice the shade with Latrice. The shade was, I'm not inviting Tamara because I guess old boy that she has a baby with is not around a lot, or I don't know if he's off working, but that was kind of shady to me for you to say that. You still could invite her, and then she would have let you know if he would be able to make it or not, because I think she did that on purpose. Okay, moving right along, you have Letitia, Carrie, and Marie. They went to a little dancing class at a gym. I guess that was her time to bond with them. And then Carrie, showed us her restaurants and had a little conversation with the employees and I guess her husband and all of them about opening this restaurant in Mobile. She says she has 3 others open. Look kind of nice in there. It seemed like she's creating her own franchise. Kudos to you, Carrie. Um, And then we get to the scene where Selena and Mike are having this communication issue. They decide to meet up with Glendale and Latrice, of all people, to give them some freaking, I don't know, marital advice about communication. It would have been a cute scene had it not been Glendale and Latrice. I mean, Letitia. Because let's be honest, Glendale does not communicate with Letitia. When did he communicate with her? When he told her I quit my job today? Where was the prior communication? That just didn't go off well to me. But hey, that's how they edited it, and that's who they felt needed to talk to them about communication. And then looking back on it, who on the show? I mean, Marie can't talk about it because her and Cedric just getting back together. Cliff and Latrice, Cliff, there's no communication there. Cliff pretty much does what Cliff wants to do. Okay. Um, Moving right along, we get to the white event, and the white event was very, very nice. It was very I'm sorry, the white event that Selena put on for mothers in the city of Jacksonville who have lost a child. It was very, very nice, elegant, intimate. I thought it was very thoughtful and very touching for the ladies to get up and speak about their loss to everybody in there, and just get some of that grieving process. Um, Through that grieving process and letting people know what it's like to actually lose a child, and you have to live with this day to day, getting up every morning knowing that your baby's not there. Selena was very, very emotional. This is the first time she really talked about her son. And, I think she said she had recently talked to him, and then she got the notice that you know that he was no longer here. And the same thing with Latrice. I think she had lost two brothers and a cousin, so her grief runs really, really deep. And again, she had just talked to her loved one, and then the next day she get the notice that he wasn't there. The takeaway from that, I think Cliff finally understood why Latrice was complaining about him staying at the bar, because for her, she doesn't know if people are coming back or coming home. When she don't hear from them or don't see them, it scares her because of what happened with her brothers. She didn't hear from him, didn't see him. He was supposed to be there, but he didn't show up. And then she knew something had happened to him. So I get that. And I think for the first time, I seen just a human part of Cliff where he understood why his wife felt that way. So that was very touching. And then at the end, of course, they did the balloon release, putting names of their loved ones on the balloons, people that they lost, and did the release. So kudos to Selena for doing such a really nice event. And I think it went well, and I think everybody got something out of it, and it definitely was a little emotional. The only thing I seen off on this event, and I could see the look at Selena's face, she told everybody to wear white. Cliff rolls up in there in blue jeans. But everybody too scared to say anything to Cliff. I'm not understanding why. Cause Cliff, sometimes you gotta just put Cliff in his place, okay? Cause Cliff, if you don't, Cliff does what he wants to do, and nobody checks him. All right. Next we're gonna move on to this pool party, and this is when it gets juicy, and we're gonna break down what really happened there. All right. All right, let's get into this pool party. I had to get up and do something real quick. Whew, where do we begin? So the couples are all arriving at the pool party. Everybody's sitting around, chit-chatting, hugging each other, greeting each other, and everything. The women are sitting around the pool. Selena walks in this all black sheer, I guess, cover up in a black swimming suit. I'm like, oh, okay. Everybody else is kind of in bright, cheery colors, but Selena gonna do Selena. Then, Carrie and her husband walks in, and she's greeting everybody. And then she greets Selena, and she says something to the effect of, I'm a Southern belle. And when you are invited to certain places, there's a time and a place and appropriate way to dress. I'm not sure if she just didn't like what Selena had on. I wasn't feeling it myself, but I will say, just my opinion, it looks like Selena had a little work done. Maybe she didn't, allegedly. Maybe she did not. But that's what I see. But anyway, Selena was sitting down there. She thanked everybody for showing up for her, and everybody was like, "Yeah, it was a beautiful event, this and that." And all I kept thinking about was So Gucci. Like, girl, you done kicked So Gucci out of her spot, and you just loving life right now. Um, Cliff is over there talking to the guys. Cliff ready to drink. Like, where's the drinks at? I need a drink. Again, I don't know if Cliff has an issue, allegedly, but he does like to indulge and partake in some, a little bit drink every now and then. Because Cliff is every time I see Cliff, he's always getting a drink, drinking a drink or something. But again, according to Latrice, nothing's wrong with Cliff, and we're gonna have to roll with that because she lives with him. Okay. Then Marie walks in. I'm sorry, not Marie. Amanda and her friend. Now remember the first episode with Latrice, Cliff, and Amanda sitting there in Taste. She said she had broke up with this girl and she was looking for something new. And he was like, "Do you want a man or a woman?" And I guess she said it didn't matter. I can't remember off the top of my head, but she did say she was no longer with Amanda. I mean, with that young lady that she brought to the pool party. So Amanda walks in with her friend. Marie walks in, realizes that Amanda's friend is her cousin. And then last but not least, and she greets her, gives her a hug. And then last but not least, Latrice and Glenn walks in. Latrice says, "We're late because Glenn got home late. I don't know, from work. I don't know where he works at or something, but he was running late and there was traffic. So she was waiting on Glenn, as usual." Now, peep all of this. The first thing I'm going to say is, before we get deep into this, not Latrice, Marie, and Selena, I don't care what you tell me. I don't care what y'all try to make me believe. Them two ladies had work done. Now, last episode, somebody asked Marie, did she have something done? She said, "No, baby, this is all cornbread fed, shaking and stuff." Marie. Don't have me go back to season 1, episode 1. Please don't. You had some done and it's okay. The girlies down there in Atlanta, they say it all the time. What they had done, they don't care if you know. They let you know. It's nothing to be ashamed of. I don't know, Maria. The way they did it, it kind of looks odd, but Marie kind of gives me the Carly. They gave her like the Carly Red edition because Carly Red is kind of shaped. Marie's a thicker form of Carly Red, but the way Carly Red BBL looks is kind of the way Marie's look in a thicker form. The butt just didn't come out just right, but the hips came out a little pointy. Again, just my opinion. I mean, that's just what I see. I don't know. The cameras, add some weight on you here and there. I get that. But Marie and Selena, if you had it done, just go on and say it, girl. But y'all look good. So I ain't taking nothing from you. So let's get down to this. So I'm trying to piece this puzzle together. Now, Marie was talking to Amanda and Latrice. Amanda is dating Marie's cousin. Marie said she didn't know, but I do remember last season Marie's family was a little upset with her because they said she didn't come around a lot. So maybe she didn't know. Amanda and Latrice have been friends since high school. Okay? Amanda has DM messages from Glenn. It is hard pressed for me to believe that Latrice did not know about these DM messages from Glenn, even though she's standing in front of Letitia's face. I don't believe that. If this is your best friend since high school, she had to have told you something. Now, Marie, if your cousin is dating this young lady, your cousin had to have said something because apparently your cousin said that she's seen the DMs. Now, unless you don't talk to your cousin, then I'll give you a slight pass. Now, Letitia's sitting around there, not knowing that at the bare minimum, Glendale knew he was messing with this girl. Amanda knew Glendale was DMing him. Latrice knew Glendale was DMing him. And the girl's allegedly girlfriend or friend knew. Latrice and all of them, they all show up to Latrice's pool party. Latrice said only couples would be there, but she didn't invite Tamara because she said Tamara may or may not have her significant other show up because he's busy all the time. You invite your friend Amanda, who just told you 2 episodes ago that she was single. Now all of a sudden you bring her there and then you make her come with the person that she used to date to make it look like she's a couple. Because she wasn't a couple. So she shouldn't have been there. But that's your best friend. So maybe you want to get her on TV, get so she can get some film and make a little money. Because I know how we bring our friends in. Because this is weird. Like, why would you bring her in this group knowing she has that information on Glendale? That's where I'm just putting these pieces of the puzzle together. So now everybody's sitting there talking, and they're like, oh, let's play the game. Now, prior to the game being started, remember Latrice, well, everybody arriving to the house. Latrice was standing there with the assistant and they were going over the questions to be asked. Why would you put a question in there that says, is anybody here attracted to anybody else in the group? Knowing Amanda would be there, knowing you seen the DMs or the text messages, knowing Amanda allegedly said Glenn's trying to hit on her, and knowing Letitia would be there with Glenn, why would you put that question there? Because you wanted it to come out. I feel like Latrice set Letitia and Glendale up, and her friend went along with it. Now, the friend allegedly been knowing Latrice. Why didn't you pull her to the side and talk to her prior to this pool party? See, all of this to me seemed like the setup to be aired out on TV and make Latrice and Glenn look bad again. So they're going to be the storyline for this season. Now, they get to the game. They ask the first question, what's the weirdest place you ever been intimate? They ask another question, and Marie, God, who knew Marie was like riding it like that? She talking about in the car while they were driving? Marie just never gave me that. I don't know. Marie's a different person when she was Cedric because she always gave me stern about the business and like a brick wall to get through. But this season, Marie done lighten up. Somebody must have hollered in her ear, told her to chill. Okay. Now the next question, of course, I'm sorry, and Miss Southern Belle, who came on here, looking at what's the name's brunch, like it was beneath her. I'm a Southern Belle, I'm a businesswoman. Apparently did something in her parents' bed. Oh my God, I'm clutching my pearls on that one, Southern Belle. And this is why I be telling you about these fake people. People be acting like they fake all this in a bag of chips, and they ain't no different than anybody else. All right. So the next question they ask, basically different positions, and even every time, what position is your favorite or something. And every time Glendale answered the question, they scan right over to Amanda, and to look at her expression on her face. So this tells me this is a setup. Y'all was waiting to get this out. Because when he said the weirdest place was wash machine, they scanned over to Amanda. Then when he said he liked the side or whatever as a position, they scanned over to Amanda. Why are you scanning to Amanda and not scanning to his wife, Letitia? See, this was all a setup. I'm like, oh God, they finna set Letitia up. They about to drop this bomb on her. She has no clue. Everybody in that room seemed like they knew something was going on, and definitely production knew. They knew it was coming out that night. So the next question, are you attracted to anybody? Carrie tried to clear the air real quick and said on three, 1, 2, 3, hell no. Everybody said it, and then somebody said, oh, pump the brakes, Amanda. That's not true. Point at Glenn. You lying. First of all, that is somebody's husband. Who are you to check somebody's husband? So when that happened, of course, everybody just, went and looked all crazy. And Latrice is sitting in the back. Everybody starting to say, next question, next question. And Letitia's like, why you say that? And everybody's face is shocked. And they're like, next question. And she said, no, is there something I need to know? And then Amanda's like, well, yeah, I mean, we can talk about it. She said, no, I know you for real. We can go outside and have a conversation, or we can have it right here. And she's like, no, you're not going to do that. Let's go outside and talk. And everybody looking shocked. I ain't freaking shocked. Y'all set Letitia up. I like Letitia. Letitia may be doing she may be in love with the wrong dude, but I like Letitia. And she did not deserve to be set up like that. Letitia is always trying to find peace and love amongst the group, even in uh the situation with Glenn while he embarrassing her and treating her like crap, she still doesn't talk bad about other people and still try to find happiness with the ladies brunching and all that. Y'all did Letitia dirty on that one. So Maria said, are you talking about he Glenn is attracted to you? So even Marie stepped in. Marie's like, no, we need to sit here and talk about it. Letitia wasn't having it. She wanted it to be discussed outside. So as they move outside, oh, prior to that, Glenn said, oh, I'm only attracted to my wife. Glenn, shut up. We've seen enough episodes, seasons of this show to know that's not true. That is not true. Yes, you are attracted to Letitia, but you also have wandering eyes and you're attracted to other women too. It's already been exposed. Don't sit on this TV and lie to us like that. So of course they go outside and Letitia, Letitia's out there trying to figure out what's going on. Amanda's trying to get ready to say something. You know they're gonna cut it off right when everything comes out. But they swing back into the house, and then Amanda's friend, Marie's cousin, and I forget the name. It was Jay something. Begins with a J, I think. She starts saying, "I seen the DMs, bro. I seen the DMs. Stop lying in front of everybody." Again, this is a setup. And then Marie gets up, goes out to get Letitia and say, hey, get back in here, because Glendale and whatever the girl's name is, they're going back and forth. You need to get in here. And Letitia goes in the house. And of course, they cuts it off and they show some of the episodes the next week. Here's my issue with that whole thing. I felt Marie was set up from start to finish by production, Letitia, Amanda, and Maria's cousin at the minimum. Now, some other people may have known what was going on. I'm sure Maria's cousin must have called and texted her because now they're all filming together. I'm sure Latrice may have called and told somebody, hey, this is going to happen. Be prepared. I don't know. But it just seems to me this was very, very well orchestrated to make Letitia look bad. Glendale does that enough by himself. We don't need y'all to just do Letitia like that. I'm sorry. I just didn't think she deserved that. Now, later on, Letitia put up a post on Instagram. I think it's Reality Entertainment TV posted it. I'll screenshot it and put it up there. And she just kind of said the same thing. She felt it was a setup and, just how she felt about the whole filming situation. And we'll see what happens as the season goes on. The only thing I think needs to happen at this point is Letitia needs to make a decision if she's going to stay with cheating Glendale or not. And I will say, I think the blogs are saying that she has filed for divorce. I don't want you to just file. I want you to file and go through with it, Letitia, because you done this before. Remember a couple seasons ago, you tried to leave Glendale. You and Marie were looking at houses and he ran up in the apartment building and scared y'all to death. You put him out for a little while, you let him come back. The next episode show him you're saying, leave me alone, crying to him, begging. I don't know if you're telling him or the public, whoever, to leave you alone. And he's sitting there hugging you. He causes you that pain. Every tear comes down your eye. Glendale causes it. Stop letting that man cause you so much pain. And I get it, the emotional tie. I get it. Y'all been together for over 20 something years. According to you, y'all was dating back in high school. And if that's true, what does Glendale need outside of you? He continues to cheat. What is you're searching for, Glendale? He has no respect for you. This man sitting here, you know, at a event with Selena and Mike telling him how to communicate when he walked up you out of the blue and said, I quit my job. That's not communication, or is it respectful? In the midst of you going through a possible medical condition, and thank God you weren't diagnosed with it, but he didn't care. He was worried about himself. Okay? Y'all have children, you got 20 plus years in, you are intelligent, you are beautiful, you're a businesswoman, you're highly educated, you're not running out there in them streets, you're doing everything a wife is supposed to do, and you cater to him. Just the week before, you sitting there rubbing oil all over him in some massage. And that's not enough for him. And plus, he known you for over 20 years since high school. So he knows everything about you and your family. There's no reason for him never to trust you. You're the perfect wife. Technically, now again, this is only what we see on TV. You could be in the house cussing them out when the cameras ain't there. We don't know. But for some reason, Glendale is just not happy with that. And it's just weird to me. So now he's out in the streets once again, hitting women up, trying to do what, Glendale? You want another paternity test, incident? What is it that you're looking for? Sometimes as women, we get involved with men that we probably should never get involved in. I mean, involved with, but it's out of love, and we don't know how to turn that love off. I'm not saying Glendale doesn't love Letitia, he does, but Glendale gives me the type of man who is not marriage material and will never be marriage material. Glendale is never going to slow down until he's basically physically unable to do what he do. Now, if he gets sick, get in a wheelchair, don't have anything else going on, and he has to leave the streets, then he will. Because he know he has a wife that's going to be there through sickness and in health. That's Glendale. Glendale is made for the streets. He should be in the streets. He's not leaving the streets. And what Leticia has to decide is I want to put up with this for the rest of my life because he's never going to change. Because once people show you who they are, believe them. Or do you say, you know what? Whatever time I got left on this earth, let me spend it and with a moment of happiness and less drama. So I need to move away from Glendale and go find myself and maybe find me somebody who would treat me with the respect I need for the next 15, 20, 30 years. Because the first 20 plus years, you just haven't been receiving it, but you love them enough to stay. Glendale, you got to go to counseling and find out why you continue to cheat. What is it in you that makes you just go out constantly and chase women? Now, I know your family dynamics was a little off. Your grandmother raised you. I don't know where your dad was really at. That could be some things going on there where real men didn't raise you. And that's why you don't know any better. Because you said you've been getting in trouble since you've been back and forth since you was the age of 13. People have been leaving you and stuff. So I get that. Kind of gives me that Martell Hope type thing. Like Martell's father wasn't there, so he didn't know how to be an honest man. And he had the same thing Letitia got. The same thing Glenn has. He had a beautiful woman, beautiful kids, educated, businesses, all of that. And he could not stop cheating. Glendale and Martell Hope are two of the same. And it's funny, they both own and they both produced by Carlos. No, no disrespect to Carlos. But those two men right there, it's something about them that they have the cheat gene and it's not going away. Glendale's the type of guy that be in the club at 50 thinking he can still pull 20-year-olds. And he gonna pull one and gonna have an accident with one. And that's gonna be life, changing for Letitia. I would say Letitia needs to evaluate what's going on in her life and seriously consider I may have to move on from this man. Now, with that being said, the word on the curve is she did file for divorce. If she's gonna do it, do it. If you're not gonna divorce him, as they always say, if you ain't gonna leave, let him cheat in peace. Because he's not gonna stop. You got to be the one to stop him. And trust me, the minute you do leave, if that should happen, if that's the choice you make, I advocate for marriages. If you choose to stay, that's your business too. But if you choose to leave him, that man is going to chase you down, just like Martell Hope, just like Simon Gubata down there in Atlanta messing with Portia, because those type of men don't think women should leave them. They could leave the woman whenever they want, but they think women should never leave them. And he's going to harass you and chase you down because he's going to be so shocked that you took time and chose yourself first and left him second. Because for the whole 20 some years, you kept making him priority and not yourself. That's why he's able to hurt you and do these things to you. All right. Now, I done went on long enough, this Generation X Nation. Letitia, do better, please. Glendale, you need to make a decision. You want your wife or you want the streets. Stop hurting that damn lady. She don't deserve it. And with that being said, this is Generation X Nation. At the end of the day, share, share, share. Subscribe to my channel, people. Subscribe. I know y'all be in here in the bushes sneaking and looking at my videos. I'm cool with that. I ain't got no beef for nobody. I just want you to subscribe to the channel. That's all. All right. Y'all be safe. Hey, I heard y'all let me know how the No Kings March went yesterday because I'm gonna be watching football today, as y'all can see it is Sunday. I'm just catching up with Belle Collective. I mean, I know it came on Friday, but I have stuff to do, so I do have to go in and look at some of my videos that I saved and recorded. But with that being said, you guys go and have a great rest of your day. Peace. And this is Gen X Nation, and I'm out.